So the first script I would like to talk about is a script that can check the LST files, find the length of each line in the file, and find the maximum length. Okay, so before we write the script, let's look at the files here. So there are 3 LST files here. We can take a look. So it's a very simple table with 2 pages. These files were created with the SAS option. Line size is 132 and page size is 52. The other 2 tables are similar, so we have table 2 and table 13. Okay, so let's work on one table first. We're trying to find the maximum length in the file. So let's use cat command. Okay, we can use AWK to print out the length of each line in the file. Okay, so you can see you get the length of each line in that file. We are interested in the maximum length, so we can do sort -n, and we pick the largest one. Okay, so it shows 133. So as I said, I used the SAS option, line size equal to 132 to create those LST files. So why is it showing 133? So let's take a look at the output of this command. So I'm going to output a file here. Okay, so you can see it's the line 53. The line 53 has length 133. So let's take a look at that file. Okay, so you can see the reason that this line has length 133 is because of the form feed. Okay, so when we set up the script to check the LST file and get the maximum length in the file, we need to remove the form feed before we calculate the length of each line. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna clear the screen here. Let's call the script line size. Okay, so let's use the bash. Alright, we define a variable here. And then we can do a loop. Okay, we're going to calculate the maximum length. So let's do max length equal to. So we're going to use a command substitution here. Okay, so cat file. So we need to remove the form feed. We can do that with the sed command. So here the 014 is the form feed. So we delete it. Okay, now we can do the AWK sort and the tail commands. Okay. Okay, so after we get the maximum length in that file, we just do some conditional statement. So if this is greater than the line size, we can print out some message. Okay, otherwise we output a different message. So I'm going to copy this line here. Okay, so that's it. We can run this script. Okay, so it shows that the maximum length in each of those LST files is 132. Okay. There is another way to calculate the maximum length in the LST files. So we can use the wc command. So let's see. We can do wc-l, and let's run it on the table 1 LST. Okay, so you can see it shows the maximum length is 132. So this command also printed out the file name, and we don't need that. And we can use the cut command to remove the file name like this. So you can do cut. We can specify the delimiter is a space, and we want the first field. Okay, so this command is going to help us to set up a second script. So let's call it line size 2. Okay, so let's do copy. Okay, so we're gonna change the command here. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so it works. It shows us that the maximum line size in each file is 132. So the next script I would like to talk about is a script that can find all the non-printable characters in the LST files. So let's do it on the command line first. Suppose I want to find the non-printable characters in table 1.lst. So let's do cat, and we can use the grep command. Okay, so to get the non-printable characters, we need to use the negation for the regular expression for printable characters, which is like this. Okay, so this command shows that there is a non-printable character in the file, and it's on this line, the YYY Consulting Inc. So it's actually the line 53 right here. It's the form feed. So when we check a file to see if there is any non-printable character, we are not really interested in the form feed. So when we set up the script, we should remove the form feed when we search for non-printable characters. Okay, so let's set up the script. Let's call it non-print sh. Okay, So let's use bash. Okay, so let's do a loop, and we define a variable non-print. Okay, so we do command substitution here, and we use the grep command to get all the non-printable characters. Okay, and then we can use the sed command to remove the form feed. This 014 is the form feed. Okay, so once we have this variable, we just do some conditional statement. So if there is no non-printable character, we can send out some message. Okay, otherwise we send out a different message. And we can put the non-printable character here. That's it. Okay, so let's run this script. Okay, so it shows that there are no non-printable characters in those three LST files. Okay, so the next script I would like to talk about is a script that can extract the titles from the LST files and create a TOC file. So let's take a look at those LST files first. So these LST files were created with the SAS option, page size equals 52, line size equal to 132. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so you can see the title line is in line 2. We would like to extract this line from the LST file. It starts with the word table, followed by some number, and followed by the title. And the other two files are similar. So notice here that this is a file with multiple pages. So when we extract the title, we only need to use the first page. Okay, so let's see how we can create the script. Let's call it a get TOC. Okay, let's use the Korn shell. Okay, so let's define a variable ps equals 52. So this is a page size, and let's do a loop here. Okay, so we're gonna print out the titles from the LST files. Let's do print, and we're gonna do command substitution here. We need the head command, and we want the first 52 lines. Okay, so we got the first 52 lines from each file, and we can use the grep command to find the title line. So here we need to use some regular expression. So remember, the title line starts with the word table, so we can do table, and it's followed by some number, so we can do this. Okay, so we can send this to a file. Let's call it a TOC temp 1. That's it. So, okay, so let's run this script. And let's see. Okay, so we have this TOC temp file. Okay, so you can see we get the 3 titles, but the order of the titles is not quite correct, because the table 14.13 should be below the table 14.2. So we want to do some work to change the order of these 3 titles. So what we're going to do is we will take the table number out. We add some padding 0 where necessary, and we put the new number in front of the title lines. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Let's remove this file, and let's go back to the script. Okay, we're gonna continue work here. So first we use AWK to print out the second column of the TOC temp 1, so that's the table number. Okay, and then we need to use AWK command here to add the padding 0. So we're going to use the -F option, -F. So that's the field separator. So in the table numbers, the separator is dot. And we want to add the padding 0 here. We use a printf. We're going to need some format. It's a %0 to I. So that means if there is only 1 digit, we need to add a 0. Okay, we're going to do this twice, because in the table number we have 2 fields separated by dot. Okay, and this is a new line. Okay, we're going to specify the 2 field. Okay, we send the output to TOC temp 2. Okay, let's run the script. Okay, so you see we get those new numbers. So to put them in front of the table title, we just need to combine the TOC temp 1 and TOC temp 2. Okay, so let's remove the TOC files. We go back to the script. Okay, so to combine the TOC temp 1 and the TOC temp 2, we can use the paste command. The separator is a space, and we just paste these 2 files together. We send the output to TOC temp 3. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Alright, so we have this number in front of the title lines. What we need to do next is to sort these title lines. Okay, so let's do that. We do a sort TOC temp 3, and we need to use SED command to remove the leading numbers after the sorting. So let's do SED. Okay, so here we're looking at the leading 0. We replace. Sorry, we're looking at the leading numbers, and we replace that by space. Okay, and we send the output to TOC final. Okay. Okay, so let's run the script. Okay, so let's take a look at the TOC final. Okay, so it looks correct. So there is one problem with the script. So after we run the script, we got those toc_temp files. We don't need those. The only file we need is the toc_final. So we should let the script remove those files. So this is where we can use the trap command. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, we can do a trap command here. So the trap command can perform certain operation when it receives a signal. So the operation we're gonna perform here is to remove those toc_temp files, and the signal is the exit signal. Okay, so let's run this script again. So now you can see we don't have those toc_temp files, and we only have this final file. Okay, so everything works. Okay, so the next script I would like to talk about is a script that can calculate the total number of pages in the LST files. So in Linux, when you print out a lot of files, it's useful to know how many pages there are in those files. So let's see how we can do that. So let's take a look at the LST files first. Okay, so you can see in this file, the first line shows page 1 of 2, and the number in the last position, 2, that's the total number of pages. So what we can do is we can extract the first line from each LST file, and then extract the last number, and we add those numbers together. That's the total number of pages in the LST files. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so let's call the script page cmp. Okay, so we're gonna use cron shell. Okay, let's define a variable called page count and let it be 0. Okay, then we can do a loop. Okay, we're gonna define a variable called num_page. So this is the number of pages in each LST file, and we're gonna do command substitution. Okay, we use the head command to extract the first line in each file, and we use the sed command to extract the last number in that line. So here we're going to use some regular expression for the last number. It's like this. So dot star followed by a space. Alright, so we replace that by a space. Okay, so then we need to add this num_page to the page count. Okay, so we're gonna use command substitution and awk to do the calculation. We use the -v option to bring in some variables. One is the page count, so this is gonna be this. Alright, we need another variable for num_page. Okay, and we can use begin to add them together. Okay, so that's it for the loop. We just send out some message after the calculation. Oh, here I need to change the double quote to single quote. Okay, So I think that's it for the script. So let's run the script. Okay, so it shows the total number of pages is 6. Okay, so I think that's all I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to put these scripts in my GitHub account, and I will link in the description for this video. If you think it is helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you.